the temporary destiny for the majority of Christians, because the majority of Christians live a sinful life, but they do submit to the sacramental system of the church. Heaven is their ultimate destiny, but they stay in purgatory until the suffering of and proportion to the sins that they commit in life. Heaven is one of the destinies. Only a few enter directly there. Mostly those who were celibate in life and were really disciplined and, lived like a monk or a nun, basically. I'd like your opinion on that, Claire.
What would you like to know?
I'd like to know what you think about purgatory.
I was brought up with it.
Elizabeth and I were actually in the Catholic
We're
Church
Catholics.
for over 30 years each.
We were brought up in the Catholic faith.
Yeah, I know that, so that's why I'm asking your opinion. I'd like to know, really.
I was never comfortable with it, with the
No?
teaching. I was never comfortable with teaching it.
What was it that you weren't comfortable with?
Because purgatory was meant to be that you suffer for the sins that you committed on earth, but the thing is, Christ suffered for our sins once and for all. So it was.
Yeah. It's this idea of more suffering, isn't it? Like you said, it's almost like taking away the idea that Christ suffered for those sins.
Well, if you die, also, if you don't get your last rites, you're supposed to be in purgatory, right? So
Yeah.
you would pray for someone who didn't get the last rites, and you would pray for them, and you would pray for to the saints to help the people in the purgatory so that they could be free to go to heaven. And that's basically it. So you would never know, would you?
No, that's it. Right, I'm pleased you mentioned the last rites, because it's just around that you mentioned now. This idea of the seven sacraments, these are the things that they believe you do, or that they did believe you do. So the first sacrament is baptism. Again, it's on a handout, this named seven sacraments. First one was baptism. Then they have confirmation, the idea of like getting brought into the church. Then they have the Eucharistic communion, was number 3. And then the other one that comes in is penance or confession. This idea of confessing your sin, to a priest behind a screen all the time. The fifth sacrament is the extremus or last rites, as mentioned. The belief here that you're anointed before to cover your sins, to penance for your death. Even if the person is dead, the theory arose that the soul would linger at the scene for a time until the last rites were said. And they believe that these first 5 sacraments for everyone, and then there's another 2 that were just exclusive for certain people. Ordination of holy orders, I believe, was number 6. When a bishop ordained a priest, the priest received grip to rule the church, perform his sacred duties. Since the sacraments of salvation, an ordained priest further astray with people, their salvation. And they believed that marriage was another sacrament as well, but again, that wasn't for everyone. So it's interesting, isn't it, that just different things are coming in. Different ideas, different philosophies, different thinking, different everything.
I don't believe in penance, and I never really have, even as brought up as a Catholic, because I've never believed that you should be able to tell a priest. Because don't forget, when I was brought up as a Catholic, a priest could smoke, a priest could get drunk, because at weddings my father used to drink at one time and he used to put left with the priest, and the 2 of them could get drunk. So why would I go to a priest and give him all my sins when he is a person who's sinning also? You know what I mean?
Yes, but in this belief,
That's a penance, confession. Confession.
Some of them believe that when the priest was ordained, that made him holy.
But he's not holy.
Obviously, I don't agree with it, but really what he was saying was it sort of gives him this, it's almost the idea of once saved, always saved, that he now, because he's been ordained, that's him okay. But, obviously, like you, I believe that, speaking as an ordained minister myself, I believe that you know, and I still have to repent and all of that myself, otherwise that can't be up as well. You know.
I think in the confession, the sacrament, they call it the sacrament of reconciliation. The thing is, they put the priest as the mediator between yourself and God, but the Bible says there's only one mediator.
And that is God.
Yeah,
So that was something that was
exactly, that's fantastic, you know. But you see how this idea of it becomes hierarchical. And, you know, I'm not saying that we should have ministers, obviously not, because I am one, but there's a difference, isn't there, between the idea of a minister and the idea of a priest. And, you know, basically man's responsibility to create his own system perverted from what it's meant to be in the Bible. Yeah. Right, I'm going to try and cover a couple of little things before we've done really well. I'm going to try and cover a couple of little things before we finish. We're talking about monks and nuns and all that sort of thing. Let's have a little look at some of these, what we call religious orders, you know, these groups here. There's one group called the Franciscans, founded by Francis of Assisi. They took as public and travelled from place to place preaching. You had another group founded by Spanish churchmen called the Dominicans, which are quite famous. Founded by a Spanish churchman called Dominic. Thomas Aquinas, another who was a famous Dominican. Their primary purpose was to preach and study. And these were placed in a thing that was called the Inquisition. We're going to get to in a minute. These orders became really powerful missionary organisations that spread out a lot in the world. They did actually evangelise quite a lot. The members were called friars, you know, those that would remember friars, their members are called friars, and they're dependent on alms or their offerings that exist. Some of the members had spiritual experiences for belief. There's even some reports of some of them speaking in tongues. There is people that give up worldliness, including gambling, dancing, immodest dress, sex, jewelry, makeup, worldly music, worldly sports and amusement. The point I'm trying to make here is I've got to be careful when I'm preaching this class that I don't sort of tar everyone back the same bush. I believe that wherever someone is, I believe it'd be sincerely wrong. I believe that if you're sincere and you seek the truth and you sincerely seek it, I believe that, you know, you will be led to God and that God will work through you and in you and all that. You know, really we've got to be aware that I'm not saying, you know, all Catholics are this, all Pentecostals are that, because I could be sitting in a Pentecostal church and not be repenting and be the wrong attitude and, you know, not make it to heaven.
I think
We'll talk a little bit about the Inquisition. We'll finish with this now, I think. In the 13th to 15th century, the Catholic Church were a bit concerned about their doctrine, so they set up a church tribunal that's become known as the Inquisition. In the 12th century, the church proclaimed the death penalty for heresy, and it begins establishing procedures to investigate heresy. Also, it was established during this time that the laity, the non-priests, were forbidden to possess a copy of the Bible. Not allowed to have one. So in the Papal Inquisition was established by the Council of Toulouse in 1229. At first it was mild. It chose certain books and doctrines that were acceptable and not. After that though, it really became, you know, like it had a reputation for terror. They persecuted people, they tortured them, they killed them, and people just went crazy. People were accused of the people. What happens is, a person who was convicted of heresy had to give up all their possessions to the church, to the state, and to the accuser. So basically, if you could get a false charge of someone being a heretic, you'd end up with the possessions. So, so for the local, if this person's upset you, you get some jingle charges, you get some people to agree with you, you get the Inquisition in and you get it proved, people, there's people to say, he was doing this, or, there's, that lady's been digging herbs out the garden, she's been feeding people and a bit ill, she's a bit of a witch, or that's it. You get all that possession. This time people put on the Dublin still and, ducked in local pub and if you survived your witch, you died, you were innocent. But again, you could have, you could end up with a possession. It's all about power, it's about getting rid of people. Say someone's condemned you in the village because you've been sleeping around or you've been stealing or something. A few of you can make a false accusation against them and get rid of them once and for all. In 1252, Pope Innocent IV authorised the use of torture for suspected heretics. Now, I don't know about you, but you like to think you're for your faith, but you get tortured. You can understand some people have done anything under torture, can't you, really? The Inquisition operated under the authority of the Pope, not accountable to civil authorities who could override any laws of the land, basically. So an accused person had no guaranteed rights. He was at the mercy of the Inquisitor. The common method of determining whether a person was guilty or innocent was to torture him. If a person was innocent, it was commonly believed that God would protect him from their harm. If he confessed to torture, which most people did, then he was guilty. If he refused to confess, perhaps he was innocent, but even then, he might only be able to resist because he's under demonic influence. There was gruesome methods of torture, including flogging, putting people in the rack, stretching the body, the bones, thrown in a dungeon, lost feet, mock bricks, etc. Punishments include severe penance, fines, banish. Even in some of your fairy tales, you talk about people being banished from the king forever. Imprisonment, execution. And I'm talking about fairy tales. A lot about fairy tales are based in around this time, prisons and banishments, and locked in the towers and all that sort of thing. Historically, the church refused to shed blood. However, it's now devised a method of technically abiding by a rule, yet allowing them to exterminate a heretic. And this became the most famous way of doing this was burning people at the stake. It's horrific really when you think about it, isn't it? Tie someone to a piece of wood and put wood underneath them and set them on fire. Yet we celebrated on November the 5th. Part of this, I'll finish with this, part of this was the Spanish Inquisition, who is probably heightened a bit by that little heard of it. This was an Inquisition established in 1478 by King Ferdinand of Isabel, modelled after the papal one. Obviously, this was in Spain. It had really harsh punishments and instigated the expulsion of Jews from Spain in 1452. And the Spanish Inquisition didn't officially end until 1834. They were able to actually get rid of whole nations of people like the Jews out of the country under the cover of heretics. Now, I've covered a lot. I'm basically going to leave it there. In January, I'll come back and cover a little bit more. Got a little bit to cover with you. Can I just quickly, I know it's your break time, for those of you going for achievement, can I just remind you of what's expected in that supporting the syllabus? I do give you self-help sheets. Sometimes you call self-help, sometimes they're not. Basically, those sheets that you get at the end have gaps on them. Really, if I had time, I would go through them with you. I'm not expecting to hand them in, but I'll actually honestly have you fill them in. And at the end of the year, you'll say, yes, I know I'll be happy. So there's that. Also, in your syllabus under December, it says dark ages. In your assignment in December is to write 500 words on false anti-biblical teaching brought into criticism up through this time. Basically, any of those things that we've talked about today, or that you read about in your notes, anything that you think is anti-biblical, write 2 sides of it, 500 words something. Or you might want to talk about a group of things. So anything that you think is not biblical, that is crept into the church, anti-biblical, and really, you've got a list of hundreds there, to be honest, you've got lots of things. So just pick a few you're interested in, or stay in the category of anything, or you're passionate about, or whatever. So that's a 500 word one, a couple of slides of paper, not too long. That's due till February.
I know that one.
Any questions about that? You okay with that? The only other thing you need to do for me this year is your research paper that's due near the end of the year, where you have to write about the nomination. I did give you a little handout on that. This is quite a big one. I need you to start thinking about that. Think about the church denomination to research. You start doing the research on it. You know, I was in the pastor league, the Methodist Church of England. Some people have done things like Quakers and that. I don't know whether some of it might be cults rather than denominations, but like the Brethren, anything like that, church of England, anything that thing is a denomination, just start to do your research. Because you need to find out as much as you can about them. Right, if there's no questions, any questions? Right, well, I'll leave there. Have a good Christmas, all that. I'll see some of you at the prayer rally in January. And we'll come back and do ours at the end of January. So God bless everyone. And I'll see you soon.
Brother Kane,
Yeah.
is our homework to be in for February?